This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one on tap between the Toronto Thunderbirds and the Austin Armadillos. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Toronto Thunderbirds and the Austin Armadillos. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden. To my left, Charles Davis. And Charles, you focus on this Austin team entering play. They've been buoyed by getting 2 home games right at the start, and they come off a good victory in Week 1. Meanwhile, for our visitors from north of the border, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment. The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
And this first play will get him back to the 25, but that's going to be it. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
Alert! Alert! Now let's go!
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Bud Dupree in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that. Give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
They'll set up to throw. He's going to loft one. Deep left side. He's got a man. Complete. And that goes as a gain of 37 on 3rd down. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, brings me right out of my seat.
And they'll run it here. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Well, look now at our starting defense. They're currently 6th in the NFL in defending the run.
Now if they could just get their pass defense in line, this unit would be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants them to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if they can get to him.
Here we go now. Blue liner. Blue liner.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Brady. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on third.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
They'll set up a throw. And he's got his man. That's Macklin. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Hey.
And they've got another 1st and 10 as the penalty keeps this drive moving.
Now let's go.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Jenkins. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. They only got a yard out of that last completion.
Because I'm letting the commentators doing this game.
Now let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got this one down to the 10. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Now let's go.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jenkins. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back now with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Austin football to begin quarter number 2, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time.
I am commenting
and their
next
quarterback,
game.
well, everyone knows he's got height, standing at 6'6".
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw.
I have to do something.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Okay. Let us hope my sisters don't get my phone.
They'll drop to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
Yeah.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Toe bashed it.
Super toe.
Now let's go. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here we go now. 3-19.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. So they bring out their punter, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And here now the offense heading back out there. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to the booth right after this. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his second week of the regular season. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Set. 3-19. 3-19.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Set.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Here's Sam Cook now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Escapes the defender. That'll go down as just a 20-yard punt. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Now this offense ready to head back out there. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and give these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bud Dupree in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Now they get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route, the drag, and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
The offense on third down, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
They'll look to throw here. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And that is no good. Oh, he missed it just wide of the upright, and this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over the spot of the placement, so now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
So out now comes the offense back onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30.
Well, this is one of the downsides of being a rookie quarterback. You know you're going to get called out about everything you do that goes wrong. Here, maybe he's a little uncertain about where to go with the football, and at this level, uncertainty equals turnovers. And this one winds up being intercepted.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line.
Here we go.
They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series, so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. And they'll send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. So possession goes over here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
The linebacker, Anthony Hitchens, there on the stop. So we've reached halftime. All we have to show for the first half, a lone field goal. 3-0 our score. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll start in the NFC North. Minnesota playing host to Chicago up at U.S. Bank Stadium. And it's the Bears who have the lead. The Bears trying to gut this one out, as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. From there, it's off to North Carolina to check on the Panthers at home in Charlotte. And you can see there, it's the visiting L.A. Rams who have the lead in that one. Robert Woods, a touchdown reception. Lastly, we head to the Gulf Coast and check on the Bucs at home in Tampa. And at this point, they trail the visiting Atlanta Falcons. Calvin Ridley, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, in our game, not much happening on the scoreboard, just a lone field goal in that first half. For the call of the second half, maybe we can get a touchdown, fellas. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. So here they come, the road team now getting the football first to start this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. False start there. That will set the offense back 5 yards.
Brandon, the lineman certainly flinched there before the snap. A good call.
Offense.
So that'll set the offense back 5, make it 1st and 15. A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. They go play action here on first down. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to kick it away. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And this is picked up by the defense.
I feel like you and I could be in our backyard with our dads right now. What did they always say when they were throwing us the ball? Look it all the way in. Make sure you secure it. That had the feeling of not happening there on that play, but he didn't have full control of the ball.
When that punt's coming in, I never return punts, but I would imagine it's tough to monitor those guys coming full steam ahead at you.
It really is. You try and get that peek to know where they are, about whether you should fair catch it or not. But sometimes you just have to have a sense, a feeling, and just have to make sure, number one, though, you catch the ball and put it away.
Caught left side, Hopkins. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
Here we go now. Green 39.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal. Might we see our first touchdown of the game? Here's 1st and goal.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Back to throw here. And it's caught. Touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And his guys are able to strike for 6. So it goes for a rookie quarterback. He had the INT earlier in this first half, but he bounces back with a touchdown pass.
And you have to like the mental acumen, the toughness, the fortitude of him, because oftentimes for a rookie, you throw an interception early, you're taken right out of the game, or mentally you check out a little bit. Give him a lot of credit for bouncing back.
Zerline connects on the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. 5 plays there on that drive. Zerline out now to kick this one away. This will be taken about the 12. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field. I'm not sure what this is about.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
And they'll run it here. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Set. Blue 90.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be a 2nd down.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
He'll look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Takes this to the 45. Not much space after that broken tackle. It'll be a pickup of just 2. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Austin, as we are just about set to go here in quarter number 4. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now let's go. Blue 90.
Now a play fake here on first down. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the left.
And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
All right, here we go. Blue 90.
They'll look to throw. And he's going to go down again.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And on now is the punter. Standing right around the mid. Oh, they come after him, and it's blocked. Now it's picked up near midfield. Well, that's tough. You're trailing here in the 4th. Your margin for error is slim, and you get the punt block.
And when I played on punt teams, you did not want to hear on the field a second thud because you always heard it come off the punter's foot. But that second one meant something bad. That meant a block. Down on the field, that's exactly what they heard. And now they're in a really tough situation.
Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted but it winds up falling incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Back to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big 30-yard play on third. So it's our visitors with a football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8.
Set. 319. 319.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 16.
All right, here we go.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And a short gain here down to the 22. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
Please tell me this doesn't come off as snarky. But that's a relative chip shot. I mean, you've got to be able to execute that one. I don't care what they design on the other side about trying to block the kick. That should be 3 points on the board.
Yeah, we've talked about it before. If you're out at 55, 60 yards, low trajectory from here, you get that thing up, this should be 3.
Yeah, there's nothing routine in football, but this one really almost should be. Snap, hold, kick, ball through the post. Didn't happen that way.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green.
Back to throw. And his throw is incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Set. 319.
Back to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. He's back to throw. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. What a great sequence by this defense so far. They've given him nowhere to go with the football.
And they just have to make it stand up one more time because it appears that they've got their number. Can they not have a slip up here and allow the touchdown?
Here we go now.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Over the middle, complete. It's Brady. And he's got the 1st down as he's up to the 45-yard line. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. They'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. He'll look to throw. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
Now let's go.
They'll set up to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 11 and a first down. And the spike comes now with just under 40 ticks left. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Call it a gain of 5. And they're going to face a 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Ingram. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And they've got another 1st and 10 as the penalty keeps this drive moving.
Here we go now. Green 39.
Now back to throw. And is it a touchdown? No signal. No, they say incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now 2nd down. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 17. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Well, Charles, exciting to the very end. That's what we just saw in this game. Final play there, had it in the red zone, but anytime you're outside of the 10, that's tough trying to draw up a final play to get in, and they couldn't do it.
It certainly is. So what they were looking for was, extra time. Too bad it's not FIFA soccer, right, where you get a little bit of extra and you get a chance to run a couple more plays and maybe get closer and take that last shot into the end zone.
So for our visitors, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll get another road date next week. Meanwhile, for Austin, they will fall to 1-1.